Greetings everyone, and welcome to my second recorded draft of Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I have now done almost 30 drafts of the format already, so I have a somewhat good grasp of what works and what maybe doesn't work. Green is really good, and in this pack, for example, the best cards are Outcaster, Greenblade, Spinewoods, Armadillo. Trained Rings from white is also really good 2-drop. One of the better commons in this set, where rare and uncommons usually take the spot for the best cards. Throw from the Saddle is also acceptable, and Patient Naturalist is really good too. The Archmage is nude. It's okay. It's very hard, of course, to get this thing through. So it's not the first pick. I think it's between the 3-drop green card and the Spinewoods Armadillo. The Outcaster is really good, but this is just so amazing as a 6-drop, and then you still have the 2-mana option to, fetch a land if you don't have the 6 mana for it. So that is slightly better, I think, but you could take even either of those two options I were considering between. Alright, so here the Rise of the Varmints can sometimes be just game winner, and sometimes it's in your hand not doing much. It really depends on the matchup and of course your deck. If you have a bunch of self-mill, this will improve. I don't think I'm taking it here. If I would really be able to take the Congregation Grief and the Frontier Seeker, that would be great. But I can of course only take one of them. I think the Grief is my pick here. Spinewoods Paladin would be just a good way to stay on color. If I take a non-green card, I would take the Grief over the Ashes here, and I think this is the slightly better option now. This is really good 2 for 1 usually, but I'm taking the Grief. I'll see if the white-green archetype could be open. Well, based on this pack, there's nothing that's green, for instance. Okay, this might be a spot at which I'm going to still just take the good cards, and of course a pick 3 is such a spot. I'm not trying to kind of force my first 2 picks by taking something like a white card out of this pack. The white cards aren't really that impressive. I could take the Consuming Ashes and still, maybe consider green-black. But I think if red and black would be open, I'm going to miss the Wild Smasher the most. Also, my first recorded draft was green-red, so it would be nice to not play green again, although this would of course be playing red. But I'm taking this because this has the highest potential out of the cards in this pack. Alright, I don't have a playset of Territory Forges, but this is basically unplayable in Limited, so I'm not going to take it now because there's an actual good card, actually multiple good cards to pick here. This is a very good pack, by the way. I'm of course going to complete all the mythics, or I'm going to do my best job of completing all the mythics from the various special seeds in this set, but this is not a high priority pick now. I already have 3 of those. Prosperity Tycoon is good, Mystical Tether is good. I would take either of those over the raid. Unfortunate Accident is quite good too. I would prefer it over the Derailment. I don't see any green here, so I think I'm going to abandon green. I'll take the Accident here. I don't think I can be green-white here. I hope I can be ideally red-black, but there's another Newt in here. Now there is also a Mind Raider, which is quite easy to trigger when you are specifically red-black, which is the outlaw kinda archetype. There are other outlaws in every color, of course, but in red-black, the treasure is easy. Yeah, you could take the Newt and try to make like a maybe blue-black crime deck. The other Newt might come back, that's what I'm thinking. At pick 9, I might have another Newt. If I knew now if I am gonna have it, I would pick it, but since I have these 2 red and black cards, I think I'm gonna take the Mind Raider and try to make a mercenary deck here, if at all possible. Alright, well that's a good decision because this pack has, the best cards are red or black here. But with what is the peak here? I have one removal, 2 creatures from red and black. So there's an option between cheap removal, expensive removal, and a creature that can be 2 creatures in one package. Skulldugger is good. I would take the Thunder Salvo over the Trick Shot. I think I'm still taking the Rictus Rubber here. The potential for 2 for 1 is quite nice, and this makes 2 mercenaries, which matters for the potential synergy as well. I have already have one. Oh, no, sorry, a couple of pieces of synergy, but I might get more. Wow, this is actually still not a peak 9, and I see yet another Archmage's Newt. So it's possible I could have picked 3 Newts out of this pack. If the pick 9 is already gonna be a Newt. Or if I for some reason first picked that, but I don't think that was the correct pick over the Spinewoods Armadillo or a number of other cards in the first pack. Alright, Sandstone Words commits crimes. This is good if you have instant speed crime committing, which is possible. Fling is like, okay, I think I'm taking the ride here now. It has good potential. I might end up not playing the card, but if I have like a couple of those 1/3 pingers, I can activate them on the opponent's turn and then get a blowout, get a 2 for 1 with this. Because of course when you can threaten something on your opponent's turn when they are attacking, and you can block with the card you steal, you are gonna have a good time, and the opponent is going to have the opposite of that. Alright, here the Prickle Pear is the easy pick. And there's the Newt number 3. I'm not sure if it would be that impressive to have 3 of the Newts, but it would be good in a spell-based deck. I mean, there are ways to make these go unblockable, and then get some additional value out of the instant and sorceries in your graveyard. But here it's an easy pick, Skullduggery. Let someone else do their things with the Newt. Here 6-drop. This is like okay, but I'm taking the 2 for 1 Wolverine, which often can be a 2 for 1 because you can plot it and then play it for free, and then you flip a land or a spell for which you have mana to cast, and then that's a 2 for 1. Totally a reasonable thing to have. Alright, another Gigapede option here, or just an Outlaw's Fury. I might try this. I haven't actually played any copies of this card yet in this format in my draft so far. It would be nice to have an option to do it. Alright, Fake Your Own Death is like okay. It does synergize with some cards sometimes, but I'm taking the Mythic Rare now. Now I have a playset of these cards and I don't have to worry about it. I should cut the green and white cards here. The pack 1 went okay. I need some 2-drops. I got the last big trick shot. I need some 2-drops of course, but hopefully I get there. Alright, Thoughtseize. Well, I'm taking it for 2 reasons. First of all, it is a breaking news mythic, one of the rarer cards in the set to acquire. I have 2 of these, and of course I have a playset of Thoughtseize otherwise on Arena, but that's not the point when I'm kind of trying to get every card on the Arena, on the entire client. So I'm taking Thoughtseize because it's also a card I'm happy to play. Rakdos Joins Up is okay, 5 mana reanimating, but with the 2 additional counters, this is actually quite good. And then sometimes you have something like that's legendary, like the Wild Smasher, and it's gonna be a really good passive ability or the triggered ability there too. But here I'm taking the Thoughtseize. I'm happy with that pick, even if I didn't pick it for redrafting purposes. Alright, well, I'm not taking another Skullduggery quite yet. There is an Outlaw, but not the high priority Outlaw. The decision here is between the Nezumi Linkbreaker and Desert's Dew. I think I'm taking the removal. I have no deserts yet. I might find 1 or 2. And then this has the potential to be slightly better, but the -2/-2 is like acceptable. And it's something I can do on turn 2. I'm really short on playables right now for that crucial turn. Alright. This is a really good card in some decks that can actually get the 4 power. Now what can help get the 4 power is of course these mercenaries that tap for a +1/+0. So given that the other option in this pack is something like a very expensive creature or the Silver Deputy, I'm taking this. It's a 3 mana 3/3 at the base, and then sometimes, and it's also a mercenary, and then sometimes you can get some kind of a 4 power creature generated for an actual massive payoff. If you get a free 3/1, that's huge always. So even if you get just one, that's great. And basically all I need for this thing is to get one of those mercenaries that can make it its power 4. All right, this is amazing card. It's actually just fantastic, especially in this archetype, because this also has the the other outlaws you control have haste. The main thing of this card is that it comes with a 2/4 and a 2/1 ones, which is great for 4 mana, and those 1 ones have haste. But that haste part also affects most of my other creatures. I would be happy with another copy of an unfortunate accident, but of course this is the clearly better card. I don't know how many of these helms I have, 2, but again, it's not really a limited playable card. I'm assuming to get past a lot of these cards in the future as well, so I'm definitely taking something I need, a 2-drop aggressive card. This is not a mercenary, but it doesn't matter. It's a just good card. I'm taking it over the Skullduggery or the Wolverine or the Link Breaker here. Mana curve looks like this. Yeah, I have a shortage of cheap creatures. I think I have a playset of these. No, actually I don't quite yet have. Reckless Lackey, Fake Your Own Death. The Lackey isn't the worst. It's not the best really. I have been quite unimpressed with this card. Because there are so many bigger creatures in the format. It's just sometimes you just have to, sack it for a card and address a token. It's not very good use of the card. So I'm gonna actually take this mythic creature unplayable in limited, but I'm gonna just take it because I'm not really impressed by that 1-drop. Okay, I have a playset of Torboro Orbs already, so I'll take the Thunder Salvo here. I won't be taking another Take for Ride. I really don't know if I'm even playing the one I have currently. Pack 2 has been a disappointment, I'm not going to lie. I'm taking the Deputy now. Yeah, Pack 2 was really bad. Nothing for me, and I'm not going to change my colors at this point. Right. I'm not wanting to play all these expensive things. The Quilt Charger, I suppose it's playable. Could take 20 gems here. The regular rays are not worth, important for the red drafting because mythics are the actual bottleneck. But yeah, this might be played or might be not played. I might sideboard it in. It depends on how the pack 3 goes. Okay, well, same thing as in pack 1. I get a very late mythic rare. I can take that to get one step closer to the collection completion. Is this disappointing? Yes, this is. Oh boy. Because the insatiable avarice is not good. Triple black to draw those cards is just not great. If it was black and 1 generic, maybe I would play it. 3 mana for 3 cards is still nice, even though you have to lose 3 life. Of course, you can target the opponent and kind of finish them off with this, but it's like a fringe use of the effect. And the tutoring effect is not great. It's just a tutoring on top, so you mostly just use the tutoring to combine with the. Wait a minute, I have to take some card. I don't know if I even was supposed to take that. Was there something else in there? I was starting to. I made the mistake of talking about the situation too much. I mean, I don't mind having a Thunder Salvo, but was there something else in the pack? Like a 2-drop? I think that there might have been, but I just too late realized that I'm actually running out of time. But I'm happy with the Thunder Salvo. I don't think there was that much of a better option there. Prickly Pear. Yep, that's fine. Jace, okay. Alright, well, another Wild Smasher. I would be very happy with the Duelist, and I guess with the Buzzard too, it's a kind of a 2-drop because you can plot it on turn 2, but the Wild Smasher is of course the best one for my deck. It is legendary, but I think the opponent has a target painted on this thing, so if I have one in my hand and one on the battlefield, it won't take long before the one on the battlefield is gone. Here, skewer the critics over Lively Dirge. Oh, I think the previous pack had a mono surprise. Well, it's not exactly a 2-drop. You can, by the way, play this on turn 2 if you really want to. It's return up to 1 target creature from your graveyard, so you can just play this without the target and just create a mercenary. Anyway, I'll take the skewer the critics. And alright, options for 2-drops on here. My choice is going to be a duelist. Demonic Ruckus is good, but I think I'd prefer a creature. I have some expensive creatures I definitely want to be cutting, so I need more creatures. So, yep. Why? I mean, of course, first thought is that I'm happy that I'm getting such a nice card at this point, but I really wanted to have the Jagged Barrens and the At Knife Point. But I'm taking the At Knife Point here. I just wanted them to be in different packs, so I could have gotten both of them. Alright. And a third copy of a Thunder Salvo or a Corrupted Conviction. I don't really think the Conviction is that amazing. I can play a bunch of these removal. It can be something I won't be main decking at 3 copies, but in some matchups, opponents might have mostly small creatures, and then of course it's good to have cheap removal on them. I have so many 3s, I suppose, but I don't really like a second copy of a trick shot. So I'm just taking the Mind Raider. That's pretty late for a Chrome. Yeah, black wasn't that open, but I guess I have 10 black cards in here. And here is the Mono Surprise, which I think was, yeah, this is pick 9. So this is the one I saw in the, as in a pack 3 pick 1 situation. But I got the card that I could have taken over the other card I picked. I don't remember what that was. Alright, Rodeo Pyromances or a Ferocification. I guess I can try this. I have played this once. It was an aggressive deck and it fitted. I'm not sure if this deck necessarily fits the bill, but I'm happy about the Buzzard. This is another of 2-drops. This is not a mercenary, but it's still something I will be playing here. To have something to do on turn 2, whether it's, plotting it or... Because I don't have that many 2-mana creatures, but I can also play the 2-mana removal I have, or the plotting there. Alright, another surprise. Now I'm taking this High Noon now. I'm not gonna play 2 of those surprises. I just don't think it's that high priority. I have, as you can see, a lot of cuts to make here regardless. Oh, I got the Demonic Ruckus here still. I can try it, perhaps. Okay, so I got again 3 mythics, and these mythics that are either big score or from breaking news. These are like the more difficult ones to open from packs, so picking these in limited is more important. The most rare of this kind are the special quests, and they are extremely rare. They won't be opening from packs at all, and they don't appear in limited packs either very often. So I'm picking every special quest card. Well, unless I have 4 of them already, but I don't have a playset of any of those. But I might make a channel update, not like a video, but I can make a post in the community section about my, the progress of my set completion, because I have actually quite a lot of these mythic rares. It's been very easy to get like late pick mythic rares of this big score and breaking news cards. So I'm actually closer to set completion. I'm not anywhere near close, but considering that it's been less than 2 weeks of drafting of the set, I've gotten a surprisingly large number of mythics already. So I might be able to pull off with the set completion business for this set too, including all the special sheets. I might need to use some mythic rares of wild cards, of course, for the special quests, but anyway, let's go to deck building here. I'm immediately going to cut the Jija Bead from the main deck at least. Out of these 5 drops, I like the Reach creature more, so I think I'm going to play one of these 5 drops. Not sure about the Trick Shot yet. Not sure about the Quill Charger. Yeah, how many ways? So this requires... So to use this on your opponent's turn, you have to commit a crime and then have mana for this. So if I would be playing triple salvo, that's already 3 ways to do it fairly cheap, total of 5 mana, and of course there is the duelist. Skulldugger is cheap instant to commit a crime. Yeah. So there's actually a non-zero chance to be able to do the take for a ride on your opponent's turn. But I think this still is going to go to sideboard. And of course, you can still play this as a sorcery speed card to win a tight race. That kind of use for a threaten effect is just very, very it's not a use you always need. Sometimes you are on the defensive and you draw this kind of a card, and then it's a blank, worse than a land in that case. So if you don't have like a sacrifice outlet, that's of course is the traditional way to take, benefit from these kind of effects. Steal a creature, attack with it, sacrifice it. But there's not a strong sacrifice theme in this set. There's some sacrifice stuff, but it's more like a black-white theme. Anyway, I'm gonna move this to the sideboard. I can play the one Mona's Surprise. I think from the main deck I'm gonna cut at least one of the salvos. Do I need a deputy? The only difficult mana cost is the, well, it's not difficult, but it's something other than a single caster is the Hellspur Posse boss. And I guess this is a double caster when you spree to destroy target creature. But I don't even have a desert, so it would be kind of nice to have the deputy for, pumping the desert's due, or get a desert that commits a crime for the at knife point. But since I don't have a desert, the pinging deserts, well, I don't have any kind of desert. This is really not so good if I have enough 2-drops otherwise. So if I cut the deputy, let's say, by the way, let's see how many of my creatures are mercenaries. 1 assassin, 4 mercenaries, that's 5. 4 rogues, that's 9. A warlock, 10. No pirates. I guess 10 out of 15 unless I missed something. That's a pretty good amount. And then also the unfortunate accident can make me 1. At knife point can of course make a bunch. Mona's Surprise makes 1. This makes a couple of them. So yeah, I have a bunch of. Well, this makes a token that's also a mercenary. So I will have mercenaries, and this Wild's Master, this will be dealing damage to opponent as long as they stay on the battlefield. So creature count is 15. I don't want to be cutting many creatures. I'm gonna cut the clumsy removal spell. I have a bunch of removals. So this is, unless you have to go for the emergency mode of 2 mana 1/1. This is usually a 4 mana destroy target creature, or ideally a 5 mana destroy a creature and get the 1/1. But I'm gonna put this to the 4-drop slot because there this card does its thing. This is kind of a 2-drop. Ferocification sideboard use. Outlaws Fury sideboard use, for example, against decks that have a lot of interaction, either by creatures trading a lot in the matchup or the opponent just having a lot of removal. Mass pump effects are bad, so I want to have this as a sideboard card when I know I'm gonna have routinely like 3 or more creatures on the battlefield. This is also going to work on defense because you can use this to enhance your blocker. So this is not, ideally it's an aggressive card, but if you have to, you can use this defensively too, and you will still have until the end of your next turn to play the extra card. So it's not a bad, it's a cantripping mass pump effect, but only for power, not toughness. I still will be using it as a sideboard card. Demonic Ruckus. Yeah, it's gonna start getting a little difficult. I guess I could see cutting the Ruckus from the main deck too. It is very nice, but maybe if I had more 2-drops. I don't even have because the best scenario for this thing is that you have this plotted on turn 1 and then on turn 2 you can just or turn 2, turn 3 you can enhance your early drop. But I don't always have a 2-drop here, so I'm going to cut the Demonic Ruckus from the deck too. 10 black, 17 red here. Is there a reason to consider playing 16 lands? I don't think there is. I don't really have a card advantage a lot. I have one in irascible Wolverine. I don't know how to say that word, but yeah, this can be a 2-for-1. This can kind of be, yeah, flooding out can be a problem. I have had games where I just flooded out because there are archetypes that don't have routinely access to a lot of extra cards. But there are of course some archetypes that have no shortage of extra cards. For example, green-black based decks, or just straight up green-black. They can have so many 2-for-1s that they have no trouble thriving in the end game. But this deck might actually have issues with that, and I'm not sure if I'm aggressive enough. These are going to make me treasure tokens quite often. How many early drop mercenaries I can have? This can be in a pinch, and so can actually be this accident. If I really want to do this on turn 2, I can have a turn 3 treasurer, but I don't think that's something I want to do often. Yeah, there's no easy cut here. I don't think there is an easy cut, so yeah, I'm actually going for 16 here. I haven't done that a lot in this format, but this deck seems like it can do that because even out of these 4-mana spells, the Rictus Robber can be plotted for 3, the accident can be played at 2. So let's just check this. So this means I have only 3 cards that require more than 3 lands on the battlefield, and I have these treasure generators too. So I think I can afford here 16 lands. So that's it. That's for the main deck. Even balance for the lands, and that's it. Mercenaries. Let's see how it goes. And actually, now that I checked this Wild Smasher, it's not mercenaries, it's outlaws. Outlaws is the grouping type. Mercenaries is just one of the types. During the entire draft, I talked about mercenaries as if they mean any of those 5, but no, I meant outlaws. There's like an outlaw deck. How many outlaws I have in the deck? 10 out of 15, I think, was the answer. Anyway, that's it about that. Okay, I am happy with this. So, depending if my Thunder Salvo has anything to kill, this might be a 2-1 or a 3-2 on turn 3. Although I actually will play the at knife point always before playing this, because I want to have, of course, the... Yeah, I want to have the 1-1 out of this. So let's see, if they don't play a target for the salvo, I think I will be buzzarding on the next turn, but also this is an extra spell for the Thunder Salvo. Okay, well, there's no way I'm playing a 2-1 into a 1-2, so let's do the at knife point and not play this buzzard yet, because it will be a 3-2. Now I'm just going to get a little bit greedy and think if I'm gonna want to also get the... Well, I have another Thunder Salvo. Well, I can get the 2-2 out of this thing. Ooh, this could be massive if they have a lot of deserts. Can I deal 4 on the next turn? I suppose I can. Well, I can... I don't have to deal 4. I mean, of course they cannot play. This goes to hand. They already had 1 desert, so I can get rid of this before it grows any larger. So now... this is pretty simple. I will... Wait a minute. So, Thunder Salvo deals X damage per X is 2 plus the number of other spells you've cast. So, okay, there's a little bit of trick. I don't want this to enter the battlefield before something has died. But I have to cast this before casting this. But I can do so that I'm gonna put a manual stop here. I'm gonna cast this. And before passing priority, now I have cast already a spell, so this will deal 3. So it's like that, and then this actually resolves first, and this has died, and this will enter as a 3-2. Sweet little trick there. You could also use full control, but I have found the manual stop to be much better for retaining priority. Full stop is full control is somehow clumsy. There rarely are places where I want to use full control, but these manual stops are very convenient when you don't want to pass priority. Okay, let's see if they want to attack. So, of course, I do have a skullduggery here. What's the worst that could happen? Well, there's, of course, a lot of things that can happen. I'm not going to be afraid of a 1 power creature here. So I'll take the 1 and have my 3/2 in here. Take it to crime. They didn't even pre-combat this thing, so I think they might have like the 4 mana flyer with lifelink and flash that kills a creature that was dealt damage. Okay, I don't want them to have the lifelink around, so I think I'm gonna use my salvo on that perhaps. Sadly. I could try to do some skullduggery here, but I don't think they are gonna block. But I suppose I can check. Okay, they don't seem to have a priority, so there's no snakeskin whale here. Okay, maybe they are gonna block. I could have, of course, pumped my... By the way, this thing has first strike too, yeah. The outcome is the same. I could have pumped this and attack, but why would they? Why would they be blocking there? Now, because if I could have used the skullduggery here to deal with this guy, that of course would have meant I could have played this immediately and get my zombie. But I suppose I'm gonna let them have 2 life from that thing. I hope it's not gonna be the end of the world. But I wanna guarantee this extra zombie here. And of course they might play something bigger for me to remove. Because I can have like a 4 damage thunder salvo on the next turn if I need to. Although, well, the same thing applies here. I can actually cast this and in response play the thunder salvo, so that something dies before this actually enters the battlefield. But yeah, I don't like raising the Bloodseeker. I'm already kind of losing the race because of the Raven of Fell Omens. But I definitely needed to deal with the Green Blade. It would have been even better at raising. Now they have a lot of these on-color, deserts. It's very. I mean, if you pick these very early, of course you can get there. All right. No place whatsoever. Okay, Wild Smasher. Well, I have only 1 red mana, so I cannot actually benefit from the Wild Smasher here. If I want to use the Thunder Salvo. So this starts to get a little bit tricky here. I think they have the 4 mana 2/2 lifelinking flyer as well. I kind of want to play the Wild Smasher. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I might actually be in a pretty bad shape here. No creature has died, so the robber is... Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. So I still can use the salvo on that. And now, of course, when they attack with the Bloodseeker, I just have to hope that my Skullduggery will be enough to, deal with the Bloodseeker, because, well, it's not... I mean, it's incredibly difficult for that to actually apply here, but I'm not taking all the damage, so let's do this. And now they're gonna let the damage happen, of course, so... Me playing Skullduggery now means that... Okay, well, I'm happy they're gonna try first something. Skullduggery of their own. So that happens, and kill this plus this, sure. I mean, this would be a 3-3. Well, I guess I have not much other chance than to make this into a do like this. And hope they don't have more tricks of their own, so my Wild Smasher will actually survive here now. And of course this triggered here. Now next turn I have to deal with the Rooftop Assassin. But you know, this 20 life they have, it's all because of the Raven of Fell Omens has gotten them so much life here. Not to mention the life linkers, of course. And that's gonna be a 4-4. And there's the second red mana, which I could have used on the previous turn. Now, I'm pretty much dead here. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm not completely dead. But I'm gonna try to deal some damage. It's so hard when they are, you know, still at 20 here. The raising is very, very difficult when they have gained so much life in the game. Now I have to just, you know, salvo this thing here and play the robber here. Some nice pings happen here, but it's sadly not. If they have any interaction, I mean, of course I can block the 4-4 with my 4-3. Like, if they don't actually have interaction, yes, I'm in a good shape. Still, of course, this will eat me slowly. Alright, well, that is not interaction. They have, of course, all the Cactarundulas and stuff like that. Annoying. So, 4 mana for this turn. Nothing. Okay, Monorous whatever thing here. That's nice. All my creatures except for the Buzzard have first strike on my turn. Right. I kind of want someone to die here, because then I don't have a good... I can always make a 1-1 here. And it will trigger the Wild Smasher, and the Wild Smasher a target, so it will trigger that knife point. But I would rather something to trade here. And then I can bring it back. Of course, if it's the Wild Smasher itself that dies, then it doesn't work that nicely. So I think I'm gonna do like this and hope for the best. They can't really take all this damage, so they have to block, but they might go for some kind of jump block, but we will see. I can make 2 1-1s, so I will have 3 blockers on my turn. But I hope they will make some kind of double block that makes my guy, some of my non-token creature die. Okay, that's just a jump block because this thing has first strike. It's a zombie rogue. Okay, that's a jump block too. I guess I'm happy if they just do double jump blocks. Alright, did they not realize I have first strike with these guys? Now I have nothing to return. So yeah, they just conceded because they realized they totally missed the first strike on my turn. Yeah, that knife point wouldn't be that good if it didn't do anything else than a couple of 1-1s. The first strike part is pretty relevant here. But I was thinking now, I mean, does it even make sense to play to get a 1-1? That would have effectively gotten me 2 with the combination of Wild Smasher. But I wouldn't have done that. Because I'm at 6, they have a 2 power, and I have 1 blocker in here. Yeah, well. So now we have this kind of a Sulte good stuff. Black-green, splashing for something blue, like the Stitcher here. This kind of a deck usually has a lot of card advantage, like the Naturalist, the Cactarantula is very difficult to deal with without letting them draw a card. This thing gives them an extra card, even though it's just a land, it's still relevant. I expect them to have a bunch of return stuff from the graveyard things, so I kind of need to be fast in here. And with that in mind, I didn't say that much interaction like a skullduggery, this, but I even now played around it, even though I didn't know it's in their deck. I'm actually thinking about that. I can play the Outlaw's Fury. I'd rather have it than the Ferocification because this has also defensive applications. This doesn't have any defensive application. So I'm going to play the Outlaw's Fury. I'm not sure about the expensive removal here or the take for a ride. Probably not that good. I still like the Pulverizer. But what is the cut here? I want to play my salvos. I kind of want to play. Maybe the 2 is the sweet spot. I mean, they had some targets for it, but maybe the 2 is the sweet spot. And well, I need to make a cut here. So let's take one of the Mind Raiders. I think I want to play this Charger. Okay, one of the Mind Raiders. And I have the +2/+0 on my team, and I have still enough creatures and ways to make tokens. Hand is... I'm gonna keep it, but I don't like that I have nothing for turn 2 unless I draw something in the top 2 cards, and I did. Because I have a lot of 3s in here. All these are 3 mana spells. Raven is just gonna immediately go down. Now I'm not gonna wait at knife point. I have enough stuff to do for the foreseeable future here. Okay, another one of those. That might mean I'm interested in actually having 3 of those Thunder Salvos if they have a lot more of these 2 toughness creatures. Look at this classic 3 basics on turn 3. I don't usually have that because I so rarely play more than 2 colors, but when I do, I rarely have this good mana. Okay, they can just kill my 2/2. Wow, that was weird. Oh, that's such a good deal for me. Oh, this is gonna be... Oh man, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm gonna be... Am I gonna be greedy? Because what I can do, I can play an at knife point and then use the Skewer Spectacle cost to take down the Raven, but then I don't know at what point I can use the Rictus Robber, because now what I now can also do is... But this is not gonna go through on the next turn, is it? I'm thinking about plotting this guy. But then I can't play a 3 mana Skewer and a 3 mana at knife point on the next turn, because I won't have the mana for that. So what I'm actually gonna do here is play the at knife point, see if they have a counter spell or something, and just deal with this, get a 1/1. And remember, these guys have first strike, so now I have a 2 power first strike, because I can pump the other with the other. I guess no deserts yet, so Cactarangula won't work now. I might just play this as a 4 mana 4/3. It will have first strike on my turn. Okay, they're gonna get the big token there. Alright, I'm plotting this guy. They're gonna have at least a 4/4. Could be a 6/6 token, so my attacks might be halted until I find something good. Okay. Alright, they're gonna get the 4/4 token, but sadly they also have the Cactarantula, which is annoying. Okay, Thoughtseize now. Why now? Anyway, let's play this first. They still have a card. It might not be a land. Okay, get this thing for free, and I'm gonna get the... At least this is a crime, so I'm gonna get the 1/1. And it was a card I'm happy to deal with, because they would have just gotten an extra card out of it. Now, no creature has actually died here. So... Okay, I'm gonna go for a little bit of a... I mean, I'm gonna either deal 2 here, because they're gonna block with the Outlaw Stitcher here. But I'm basically upgrading my 2-1 into a... 2-1 into a... I mean, sorry, 1-1 into a 2-2, which I think is now more relevant, because I need the defensive power. Sometimes the pumping ability might be better than the few stat points. But this was my most convenient way to trigger this. So now I have a blocker on the 4-4, and of course I can double block the Cactus Tarantula. Now the opponent is top decking, so I hope they don't get something amazing right away. I mean, they probably did, but because why would they be doing that attack otherwise? Well, here's the thing. I can just trade everything off and leave myself with 2 1-1s versus their 1-4. It's just not so great. I'm thinking about just blocking the Cactus Tarantula with the 2-2 and a 3-2. But I'm not winning this race. Especially if they have a spell post-combat. But this is a top deck war regardless, so I mean the person who draws better will win the game. So how do I give myself the best chance to be the winner? Because I can just make the block so that they have the 1-4 and I have 2 1-1s which cannot attack. But if I take 4 in here, I can attack for 6 myself. Alright, I like that more. Let's take 4 and I hope I'm gonna draw something good. I basically hope they drew a land and I draw a spell, but that's what I have to do here. They have the better board. Now that is useful. That is very useful. I'm gonna actually go for this thing now. Hope they block with the 1-4. If they don't, I think I'm gonna go for the +4 damage and draw a card. It actually doesn't matter. It would be valuable to get the damage here too. Okay, so now if they drew, it seems like they had a land here. So if they drew now another land, I am of course winning here because my guys have first strike when attacking. This 4-4 blocker isn't doing much, and if they just drew like a random creature, I don't know, 3-3 or something like that, it still doesn't matter. They can attack for 4 and I can take the 7, go down to 7. That is going to deal with the at knife point, but at knife point, you know, it did a good amount of work in here and I can still do attacks in here. So, well, I mean, of course, especially I can do that now. I might even play around the counter spell, which attacks for 2. So let's do the full. Yeah, this actually might be game over now. I drew better than there. That is how it went. So I can pump here and pump here and attack for, you know, basically forcing them to jump block. Actually, I should not have pumped the 5-3 here. I should have just attacked with the remaining, making them go to 2. Not necessarily gonna matter, but details sometimes do matter, because there was no point making a 5 power creature here. They were anyway going to block the 5 power creature, but they were going to force to. I mean, they were at 7. If I attack with 2 4 power creatures, they are forced to block a 4 power creature, allowing me to attack with the 1 remaining mercenary that doesn't have summoning sickness to go through for free. But I didn't think, and that's why I wasn't doing the optimal play. Okay, hand is definitely decent. No 2-drop unless I really want to make a 1/1 out of this thing. But of course 3 lands with both colors is always fantastic, and I have the Thoughtseize here too. So, okay, and there's the 2-drop. Let's just see what's up. Okay, they have 3 colors. They have plains and forest here. So as long as they don't draw lands, I'm in a good shape. But of course, if they do draw just one, they have it doesn't matter even if it's just the forest or a plains. They can play the grizzly, the holy cow, and the clear shot. And so at some point they will find red for these things. So I have a bunch of creatures, so maybe the clear shot isn't that scary. Although I don't think I care about the 2/2 or the 4/2. I will be the aggressor here. So I'm gonna just get rid of the clear shot here. Okay, well that's a nice draw to have, because it will deal with both of their 3-drop creatures I have knowledge of. Did they draw a land in 2 draw steps? They did, and but it's okay. They got the red mana, but it's a tapped red mana, so this is giving me a nice you know, tempo boost here. Now I was thinking about this, but I actually won't be attacking with 4 power summoner right now, so I'm gonna plot this guy, and I hope they are not going to go for the holy cow and go for some other creature instead, so that I can use the Thunder Salvo on my turn. Again, if they have a land charger, okay, they go for the holy cow. That doesn't matter because I have the Thunder Salvo for it anyway. Okay, actually all is very fine here. But even if they went for this, I could have done the trick, cast this, and in response to that, use the Thunder Salvo to deal with this 3 toughness. So they're gonna most likely play the holy cow to try to block, but I can of course use the salvo before. Now if they're gonna okay, that's a little bit tricky now because they're actually gonna raise, which is fine to me. I can just play the summoner now. I can find a better spot for I guess they have the Savage Smash there. Yeah, that's right. So I don't really know if I was in a position to play around that though. You know, do nothing right now. I could have left mana for the accident and the salvo. And I'm still not doing this. I'm gonna get the 2/2 out of it. Yeah, they are gonna go for the Savage Smash. They can... Actually, both of these are kind of vulnerable. And remember, I just need to have a 4-power creature. This doesn't need to be itself a 4-power creature. So the Rictus Robber does the job. So I think the Savage Smash has to deal with the summoner, leaving me the Wild Smasher still. Yeah. And now I can still do, you know, a fairly decent turn here. Unless they have a Snakeskin Whale. That would annoy the heck out of me, but let's hope they don't. It doesn't seem like based on the priority stops. So I still have a removal spell in my hand, so this is all fine. I'll get 2 pings out of this thing right now. And they are basically dead if they just play 1 creature on the next turn and have nothing else to show for it. They actually are dead, because this is 9 power, and this is gonna spawn a mercenary, which is gonna cause a ping from the Wild Smasher. So I'll destroy their only blocker, attack for 9, get the 1/1. And that's the final point. Again, unless they have a Snakeskin Whale. There's also the Coyote. So now I have the luxury to play around a Snakeskin Whale, but they didn't have it on the previous turn. So let's see if they actually have it. This doesn't trigger the Wild Smasher. If I don't use the second spree mode, I don't get a 1/1. So let's say they actually have a Snakeskin Whale. In that case I try to kill this, they save it. And then I play the Coyote. It pumped some other of my guys. I pumped a 2-2. This is gonna be 5. They can block the robber. It's actually not optimal, so I'm gonna go for this. And if they have the whale, I have to just attack with the 4-3. But now that happened, so I mean, of course it was a very low chance they would have needed to draw it on the previous turn, but it wasn't impossible. So the entire point of that little thought process there was that if they have a snakeskin whale and I cast this without getting the 1/1 at 4 mana, I don't have a lethal attack with the cunning coyote. Even if I attack with everything, they can have the luxury to kind of block a... I guess I could have done it so that this coyote pumps the Wild Smasher instead. Yeah. Because they were at 10. Yeah, so yeah, they can't actually take a... they can't block a 2-2 because coyote and 2-2 would have attacked. They can't block a 2-2 because then they would take exactly 10. So I guess that was another way to do it, to play around snakeskin whale. But I don't know which was better. Okay, so Naya colors this time. I saw a couple of removal spells. Their hand had creatures. Both of these removal spells require their creatures, so I think that makes my Thunder Salvo quite good, because this can deal 3 quite easily here. What do I not care about that much? I guess I can always kind of cut one of the Mind Raiders. They are, I think, the least important cards. The treasure is not that important for me anyway. So I'm going to cut it. And I'm actually trying the Thunder Salvo. I saw several targets for it. 4/2s, 2/2 flyer, 3 toughness creatures are fairly easy to dispose of with this card. I don't think I'm on the draw going to play the Outlaw's Fury or the Drukus. I just kind of don't want to cut anything. That's the thing. The other Mind Raider, it would be going to a little low amount of creatures. I haven't drawn this yet. I would want to see that. Oh, well, why did I say that? It would be a pretty good hand if, if 2 of these were mountains, but even if one of them was a mountain, this would be a snap keep. Now I have 8 mountains in the deck. It's not worth risking it. This is much better. I don't think I'm gonna plot this thing. Usually you would plot it if there's like a 3-drop. You can haste up right away. But there is not, so let's start doing the beats. So this opponent also has this Raven of Fell Omens. These are actually quite classic. Turn 3. And that's an additional color too. They had a mountain red cards in the previous game. Alright, let's focus on things that actually matter. And the thing that matters here is just kill this and keep the attacks in. I can actually perhaps even go for a 4-drop and 5-drop if I draw a land in 2 draw steps. At least a 4-drop. So did they just... I don't understand anymore. Do they actually have 4 colors? They had red stuff. I mean, if you do play 4 colors, it's more likely to have 3 basics that are different kinds on turn 3. So they can make a 1/1 token, sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna... I can return that guy with the surprise if the Iron Fist Pulverizer does not die. I could actually leave the Coyote to block, but I also like to deal damage here, because now that it's like slightly annoying they deal with this Pulverizer, they can attack for a 6, and I only dealt 2 myself. But I guess I can go to 11 here. Well, I would be going to 10 in that case. Okay, they have nothing. Okay, well, I mean, they might have something, but they didn't consider an attack to be what they should be doing. I kind of like the idea just to get the Quill Charger with the Mona's Surprise and then immediately play it and trigger the Pulverizer with 2 damage and Scry. But I could just attack with the Pulverizer and make them, allow them to double block. Of course they might have tricks and stuff like that also. But this is a 5/5 menace, that's no joke. I kind of want to Scry too. Seems like they don't have priorities. They might have actually 2 lands in their hand. So if I attack with all, they're gonna double block the 4/5. Then I will return the 4/5 and have nothing else to do on this turn. And on the next turn, 5 of my mana will be... Yeah, I think I like this more. They might double block the Coyote with the Raven and the 1/1, but you know, I don't mind trading with the Raven here. I will get the 1/1 with the useful ability as well. Alright, let's hope this works. 2 damage and a Scry, that is very nice. Okay, that's also a very nice card to have, given the board state. So now this is a saddle too, so I can saddle the Charger using the Coyote. I guess it's possible they have red cards in their hand, unless they sideboarded them away. Oh, now there is a good one. Mounts and vehicles have hexproof on their turn. When this mount attacks, it gets +1/+1 counter. Right. You know, be my guest. I could trade with the Charger, but I'm not interested in that. So with the Thunder Salvo, this is pretty safe. I will be crewing this guy. Saddling up, and I will be... Yes. They're just gonna jump block the 4/5. I am just going to pump here, and I'm gonna go for the attacks, and let's see, this is 10 damage, so they have to of course block at least one of them, but it's not a big deal blocking with the 1/1. But of course the Thunder Salvo here can deal with the Miriam if they want to save Miriam. It can't deal with the Grizzly now, so... Okay, well that's just fantastic if that's gonna happen. Double block will be horrible for them, unless it's like double block with the 1... I think they're just gonna jump the 4/5, and that's the best chance for them to have a victory here. Now before they untap, or even take the turn, yeah. So, aka before they untap, I'm gonna get rid of the Miriam. I don't... At least I hope they can't deal 6 extra damage. I suppose there's the Mythic Rare Hydra, which has Trouble and Vigilance and Haste, which would in fact with their mana be enough to deal 6 damage to me. But let's hope they don't have that. Okay, they have now a spell of some kind. Don't be back for more. That would actually be annoying. Although they can't kill the biggest guy here. And they can't eat the Quill Charger. Yeah, so they can only eat the Coyote. They can trade with the Quill Charger. They can't kill this, because it seems like it's back for more. Of course it can also be other things that return stuff from the graveyard. But my bet is on back for more. Although that's an instant, they would be maybe using it on my turn. So maybe it's the 5 mana black-green uncommon signpost that returns a creature card to battlefield and a permanent card to hand. Or if they're passing the turn, it's gonna be a back for more. Well, I'm just getting the nuts here. There's not really a reason to... Well... They are at 4, and they might gain life point from here, so I'm thinking... Because I could pump the coyote, and then just attack with my guys, because then the coyote couldn't be eaten by the drover grizzly. But... I think I'm still going to make this into a saddled up guy, and I'm gonna actually pump the other guy. So if they get 1 life point, I make this to deal 5 regardless. Okay, no responses. This is gonna deal 5 regardless, so now both of these will be 5 power creatures, so both of them need to be blocked, and this has menace. And I'm not gonna use this removal preemptively. I'm gonna let's first see what they're gonna do. Because if it is a back for more, and it is, okay, this actually creates another trigger, and I can kill this in response. Crime has been committed, and now please don't be a snakeskin whale. So this is about to fight, but let's say you are not fighting at all. And yeah, my top decks were really amazing here. And now this is lethal because they have to block this with 2 and they don't have enough blockers. They need a total of 3 to not die. So that's why I was, you know, pumping this 4-5, because I was counting on them getting 1 life point. So I think this turn I played well, and it was not that hard to smell that they had a back for more, because they were hovering over the graveyard a lot, and then they passed the turn, so the only instant speed effect basically is back for more. That's the match. Okay, another fantastic hand. It's like feels like I'm playing best of 1, because I have had so many of these hands. Maybe the magic is that I'm recording, because I have had so much bad starting hands in my unrecorded drafts that now everything goes like fantastic. Alright, I will be dealing with this guy ASAP, but they will get one turn of usage from it, because I can't even cast Skullduggery without having a target myself. So starting with the Swamp with the Skullduggery in hand doesn't actually matter, because well, you need to have a creature to target. This thing might mill me out. Alright. Let's not be too hasty in here. Maybe I'm going to play the Mind Rider. It's just telegraphing my stuff too much, because I could use the treasure, you know, for the Skullduggery, but then the opponent knows what's up. Maybe they're actually gonna block with a 2-4 and I would get a total blowout. That will still leave me with Thunder Salvo up. And I don't actually think they're gonna block, so... Oh, this is so insane. Plus in here. I mean, they could have a Snakeskin Whale, so let's not... But of course I have to do this, and I'm gonna do this. Oh, they have a Snakeskin Whale. No, they don't. Oh, of course, because yeah, you always get a priority when your mana dork is getting, you know, targeted, in case you want to tap it for mana for whatever reason. So obviously I can't cast this now. Well, I can, but I won't. So let's leave the Thunder Salvo. I mean, this was not exactly a 1 mana. Well, it is a 1 mana 2-for-1 if I had use for the Thunder Salvo, but I won't have. So it was basically a 3 mana 2-for-1, which is still fantastic, of course. Now this is an annoying fella. But I mean, I can just attack here, no big deal. Let's see if they're gonna take another 3. They have learned their lesson. If I play the Mind Rider now, I would have a treasure, yes, but this still would only deal 3 to the Lazav. So I think I'm going to maybe consider the Wolverine for a potential. Although if they do commit a crime, this gets another point of toughness and then it starts to be annoying. But still the Mind Rider might not be that... I'm just gonna do this plotting here. Let's give it a chance for the Thunder Salvo to deal like 4 damage on the next turn. Maybe they tap out for a creature not committing a crime. Well, that's what they did. Now, I don't like the creature they tap it out for, but... Okay, that is really annoying. I can block with the Iron Fist Pulverizer. But Lazav gets out of hand too. So now there's a chance I can't actually use the card I'm revealing here. It depends on how cheap it is. But yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna get rid of the Lazav and I have to deal with the swing somehow. No, it's gonna be wasted, sad. Oh, I guess that allows me to attack with the Wild Smasher. That's what it does. But I can't use the Desert Stew in any kind of a meaningful way in here. So, but this does allow me to attack. Because I can pay for the ward. So they take 3, and there's at least that. It was kind of free anyway. It is annoying this thing has, you know, vigilance, so they can keep attacking. Anyway, let's do the Mind Raider and yeah, -2, I just don't see any way of it doing. I can't even deal with the Sphinx because if I use the Thunder Salvo and Desert Stew, I would need to pay the ward twice, so that would be a total of 8 mana. I'm nowhere near that. Alright, let's still do this. That's my spell number 3 and this deals now 4 and now we'll see. Another of these Sultai decks. It's a pretty powerful color combination for sure. Oh yeah, this is surveilling for 2 when you commit a crime. It's a really good ability. This is a very nice 5-drop. And I'm happy they have made 5-drops that you are actually actively even considering the first pick. Okay, Thoughtseize is nice. But let's first play this thing to get the trigger from the... Okay, no counter there. So I can use my treasure for this business. And I might consider it to, you know, attack with everything, depending on what I see here, of course. They might have a kill on the Pulverizer here. That would be annoying, like a murderer. Because this Pulverizer prevents this Sphinx from attacking. I really don't want them to have an instant speed answer for it. Now my point is that, okay, I don't want to draw a swamp. So this does the Thoughtseize resolve. Oh, wow, Bonnie Paul. Okay, then, yeah, they have the mana for it. Bye. This is an insane card. My Thoughtseize just gave me a chance in here. Now, what I don't like about this situation at all is the Desert Stew in their hand. There was no world where I should have taken the Desert Stew. Because the thing is that if I attack with everything, they are going to block the Wild Smasher, which would be okay because I have another one in my hand. They would be going to 5. But now they're gonna go to 8 because they're gonna block the Wild Smasher and kill one of the 3/2s. So it's not worth it. But now they can also attack with the Sphinx. That is the annoying part. Because they can threaten to kill the Pulverizer with the Desert Stew. So I have to take the 3 here. It was a very good hand I saw with the tortoise. Of course, I had to take the bunny pole there. Okay, well, it's now the opponent's time to draw well. They don't have mana now for the Desert Stew, but it's not like it matters. They gained 3 extra life, so Suiciding my guys doesn't do anything right now. I mean, in terms of life total, they can eat 2 of my guys and take 7, or, you know, eat 1, 3, 2 and block the pulverizer with the... I don't think that makes any sense, but I can guarantee 6 damage. They would go to 8. I lose my board. Yeah, there's no attack here. I don't know. I need to kind of top deck multiple removal spells here. And I somehow... I mean, I need to deal with the Sphinx before the Desert Stew is gonna do its thing. But yeah, it's actually -4. No, it's already... Yeah, it's -4, -4 right now. Kind of want to save this for a double spell, but I'm not quite willing to sacrifice the Wild Smasher just to do this. I think this forces them to do a thing, I guess. Maybe. Is this a... when this attacks, create a 3-1 if you control. Yeah, they can actually in response even decrease. I don't know. Yep, this is not bad. They can't use the Desert Stew because then they lose the attacks with the swings. As long as they have it, I cannot block. I will of course block it at some point, but I'm gonna go to 4 now. Maybe I draw a removal spell. Another spell. I have a white board here, but it does not help me too much. If they have a 3rd desert here... Oh, sorry, I was wrong. That's not a desert. They only have the Festering Gulch. Yeah, this is -3, -3. I thought it's -4, -4, and the next desert would actually just make it into a kill spell, but no. Yeah, it's a -3, -3. I mean, still I couldn't block it, but they could have an extra desert and... Okay, that thing is in there. I needed now something else than land here, because now I just can't... This doesn't work in any way. I can attack with everything, it's nowhere near close. I mean, I guess I can... But yeah, the problem is the Trampler. I cannot attack with the Pulverizer. I can attack with everything else. I suppose I will see what they do. I don't think there's like any way of... They can now, by the way, respond by shrinking the Pulverizer, but I don't think that makes any sense. But let's see what they do. I mean, it would be great if I had a spell that does something here. But there is nothing. Because anything that allows me to somehow... There's only 6 damage and they might even use the... This is not gonna work. I mean, it was never gonna work. I was kinda hoping they are not blocking at all. So now I'm just dead. Well, actually I'm... 5 power trample. I have to block the 3-2. I go to 2. Yeah, I'm dead. Not gonna show any other cards. I guess they might not, you know, attack with everything, but why wouldn't they? Because they have the removal spell there still. Alright, so the Marauding Sphinx was the card that really, you know, that cost me the game. I think I still can't put my the take... Sorry, that might be worth considering, but Trick Shot is not good because the Ward 2 makes it a 7 mana spell to deal with this. And if they can resolve a Bonnie Paul, I just accept that I'm gonna probably lose. So I'm thinking now the Outlaws Fury is probably the card I need here. And I think I can again lose one of the Mine Raiders, perhaps. Or Thunder Salvo, is that gonna be so good against them? I guess a Thunder Salvo isn't. Actually, the Desert Stew is even worse. Oh, I'm gonna actually cut a Desert Stew and a Thunder Salvo, and I'm just gonna play the Demonic Ruckus. I'm almost considering the Ferocification too. Am I actually doing so that I'm not playing even this salvo? A lot of the creatures are so large. So let's go full on pump effects instead of this small creature removal. I'm gonna play the Demonic Ruckus and the Ferocification. I don't think I want to play the Take for a Ride now that I cut so many instants. And this is probably the deck. Let's try this. At least my starting hand is good. This does require the third mana, but if I get it, I have all castables. That is at least a castable. Skewer is also castable if they, play something they don't want to block with. Okay, that's a Buzzard, right? No, it's even better. 2-drop I can't cast. Alright, that's a shame. If they have a turn 3-4 power creature into this thing, okay, well, I guess they don't have a 4 power creature. I can skewer that if I'm... And actually I can use Skullduggery for that. Well, that's... I have a lot of options because trading with this guy is not so bad, because I have another Wild Smasher here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to let them trade. Let's make a couple of pings here though first. And then I'm gonna let them trade. And then I have, of course, with the Ferocification, I can deal some early damage that stuff like Bonnie Paul might not be enough for them. Here it's going to be the Ferocification, which is gonna choose plus. Okay, so I can either make this unblockable 3 damage or make it so that they're gonna trade with that guy, and I think I'm gonna rather deal 5 or make them trade. I want to keep the board clear here. It's just a random 2/2 anyway. So this has a nice mode. The second one too. I can give Haste and Menace to my other creatures. Now I don't like seeing the 5 mana here. What does that mean? I think it's still just best to play this Quilt Charger now. See what happens. So I'm going to Haste Menace this guy. I mean, it could be a Desert Stew, it could be something. I'm actually going to do it like slightly different. I think they're gonna have a removal of my 4/3, so I'm just gonna give. I don't know why did I do this in pre-combat, but okay, they had nothing actually. So I lost like 1 damage here. I could have attacked for 4 hasted, but now I attack for 3 here, so they would be at 11. But I wanted to I didn't want to take the risk that they just kill this and I can only deal 1 damage. I think this decision was good risk management here, given that amount of cards in hand they have. Is Bonnie Paul double blue? I don't remember. Oh, I haven't still cast this card even once. And I still can't. This is gonna make me a treasure token though. Wild Smasher? They might have a back for more there. So it's only gonna bring them a 2-4 or a 3-3. I do have a skullduggery which can be useful, or will be useful. If they have back for more, I actually have a great skullduggery. Okay, here I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna pump Wild Smasher and give it haste and menace. Not gonna use saddling up here. And I hope that they have nothing too amazing. Ambush Gigapede is... it's annoying, but I can still do, you know, this here. I can save this guy and minus this. They will trade, but they will take 4 here. They will take 3 if they choose to block the Quilled Charger. Which is, you know, still fine. This also goes to face, so as long as they don't gain life, I am kinda getting there. Any more spells on my turn to play? Okay, now it's a back for more. Oh boy. I guess if I top deck a mountain, if they play a 6 mana card that's not a Bonnie Paul. If it just gives them 1 permanent. Okay, well, I did not draw that thing I wanted. So I might as well play this pre-combat. I have 2 outlaws in here, so hopefully one of them will... If they want to prevent the damage... Okay, they didn't do anything right now. Okay. So next turn I can play the Hellspur Posse. So what are they gonna have? Another of those 6/2s? What's going on in here? I really hate when the opponents have so many cards they can play on my turn, because I guess if they have the 6/2 I just have to trade with it. I'm mostly thinking here that how am I gonna use the ferocification, because giving this guy haste and trample is haste and menace isn't actually any better than giving this guy +2/+0. I'm only dealing 6 damage here, so I'm actually gonna save my Mind Raider if possible and just give this guy bonuses. They might have some kind of bounce on this, but oh well. Let's see what they have. No answer for back for more anymore. If they have that, they can... Yeah, then they don't take any damage. This thing, by the way, has trample. It can have utility with the ferocifications +2/+0. They need 5 toughness to not get damage dealt to them. Well, they just had to hit their land drops and they get their 6 drops here if they have an ambush Gigapede, and yeah, that's the back for more. They could have gone for the Gigapede. I guess it doesn't like matter too much. This is a fight. I mean, they can't eat my guides. Oh, what? Why would they do that? I'm not gonna use the skewer because it's would use my treasure. They milled a bunch of stuff. I guess the coyote would have been actually a good one. Yeah, haste and pump. Now, as long as they don't get life. Okay. Do they still have a fully a land drop or something? Oh, they can do the draw a card thing. Ankle biter. Okay. So, is there any way here? They don't know that they're effectively at 2. All my... Okay, I can have haste with... I might actually have a victory here. Oh, but I don't have this freaking swamp here. Am I dying on the next turn? 13, 15, 16... Yes, I am if they have a land. Although the ankle biter will die. So if they have a land, this becomes an 8-8, but I take 16 and I am at 17 because the ankle biter will die. But I can't use the skewer to critics here. My trample doesn't matter at all. This gives menace 2 though. I mean, I'm gonna do this regardless, of course, but I just don't know how to use my They have 3 blockers. One of my guys will have menace. I can pump these into 5 power menace, but it doesn't do anything. So I have to attack with everything. I mean, that's my only... I have to keep the boss. I guess I can leave a jump blocker here. Okay. So there's no point pumping anyone because they have so much toughness that I need to attack with the many creatures. So yep, menace and haste on here, and then I think I can. I mean, imagine how easy this is if I just drew this another mountain instead of 5 swamps and 1 mountain. So if I do this, they are guaranteed to go to, because this needs 2 blockers. And I have a jump blocker. Okay. They're gonna go to 3. If they don't have a counter spell or life gain, I will win the game on the next turn. Or, you know, discard effect. And I would win on this turn if they didn't draw this particular mix of lands. It's a shame. It's a very much of a shame. So I need to dodge life gain. I need to dodge. Well, they don't have. This is not castable. If they attack with everything, it is only even if with land drop. Oh, this can make another land, but I didn't have a land on the previous turn, so they would have needed to draw a land and then draw another with the attack trigger. Of course, they might have a pump spell, but how many trample pump spells there are? Okay, well, there's still a chance. Please don't gain life. And they gain life. I don't know what can I draw here. Probably nothing. Man. Oh yeah. Well, it would have gone to game 3. I still would have needed to win the game 3 to win the match. But I think with my sideboarding, I quite like it. The aggressive sideboarding make a group of creatures, because you know they have a bunch of 6 mana effects here. They might not get there always in time. I potentially with this deck can amass a board that can use these pump effects to push through. But this game was lost because I drew 5 swamps and 1 mountain, when if I drew 2 mountains and 4 swamps I would have won. Yep. There's not much I would change about this deck. More 2-drops maybe, but this was a good deck. I like the mercenary, outlaw archetype. When you get these signposts, it's really nice. And of course, some rare to buff things up. It is a nice archetype, but any kind of a fast archetype that lacks late game card advantage will always lose to those green-based value decks. And now that I have drafted kind of, I think almost 30 times now, this might have been like draft number 29 or something, I've seen a lot of those value decks, and whenever I draft something else than that myself, of course I have had my fair share of those green-based decks. Whenever I try to do some other archetype, black-red, blue-red or that kind of stuff, if they kind of stumble at the beginning, don't get to curve out 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. If you have to have a slow start, and the opponent with the green-based deck can have like a turn 5 play without being really pressured too much, they are gonna almost always overwhelm you with card advantage and those crazy bombs they are able to splash. So that's kind of the one negative side of this format, is that the green stuff is a tad too good and plentiful, and yeah, plentiful. I mean that it's so often that I see those opponents, and of course so often that I have to draft that archetype because it's the best archetype, and it will, when it's open, you should draft it when you want to win matches. So I'm seeing it on both sides of the board a little too often, and I would like to see more of the other two color archetypes than the green based ones. But so far I've quite enjoyed the format, and I will try to, and I will be drafting a lot more to try to see if I can actually complete all these mythics without the use of, with the minimum use of mythic wildcards. But that is it for this video. I will see you maybe in the next one in around a week, and I might make a channel post about my collection status regarding the collection completion of this set and its bonus sheets. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.